To honor a coach. Good evening, I'm Scott Eisberg. As the high school playoffs begin this week, each team has motivation. For some, it's one more time on the court. Others with realistic dreams of a state title. For one low-country team, it's about much more than basketball. It's about playing to honor, competing to remember. When Somerville High beat crosstown rival Ashley Ridge last week, it was all for head coach Greg Elliott.
Thank God we won. When I heard we were down 6 at halftime, I was like, man, I should have won the game.
That victory had nothing to do with the absent Elliott, but everything to do with him.
It's a satisfying season to a certain extent. It's been a tough one personally, but you know that's what life's about. You know, you have the highs and lows, and you just got to get through it. You know,
because the lead up to that game that day, the most trying journey of Elliott's life. For the first time in a long time, Elliott could think just about basketball, but on that night, he couldn't.
My sister was diagnosed with bladder cancer April 8th. It was actually Easter Sunday, 2012. So she's battled it for 2 years and 10 months. The pain just got so great there I think late January. And she was in the hospital for 17 days in Georgetown. Just nothing they could do. The tumor had kind of just seized her body, seized everything in her urinary tract area.
A coach who preaches family to his team, truly torn all season between his two families.
Back and forth, trying to have a foot in Georgetown, a foot in school, a foot in basketball. I made the trip through Moncks Corner many days, ate many cheeseburgers there at the Hardee's in Moncks Corner. But, you do what you have to do. Scott, I tried to come to school a couple of days, go home a couple of days, come to school a couple of days, so it was a little bit of outlet for an hour and a half. I didn't worry about anything, came to basketball and, went back. And, driving back and forth was a little bit of inconvenience, but nothing compared to the battle, my sister had there for 2 years and 10 months.
So when her journey ended last Sunday, Greg Elliott's did as well. His plan to honor his family by being with the family that helped him emotionally cope by allowing him to do what he loves.
And we had the little viewing there at the funeral home, and after seeing my sister, I just, I couldn't muster up enough to come here and, play Tuesday night.
So for the first time, Greg Elliott took a step back. On the very same day, his team took a step forward.
We got a good family, basketball-wise. We got great coaches and good kids, and it meant a lot to my family today. They showed up for the funeral. My family was deeply touched by that. So you saw some good stuff in crisis, but, obviously you hate to lose a sibling.
A sister lost, not forgotten. A team preaching family, truly learning the meaning of one, working for this journey to carry on.
I'm hoping my sister went on the same elevator to heaven that Dean Smith went, and I hope she got some secrets from Dean Smith. We're going to need them, Wando, Wednesday night. But, yeah, we want to win no matter what, but maybe we get a little, divine intervention.
Elliott says he owes a huge amount of gratitude to his assistant coaches who helped sail the ship, keeping his kids on the right track while he traveled back and forth to Georgetown. To some other basketball now, Wando High grad Andrew Glover has made his college decision. Without offers out of high school, Glover decided to play this year at Hargrave Military Academy, a prep school. Today, he commits to play for USC Aiken next year. Glover led Wando to a state title last year, has certainly improved his stock in prep school, even drained 9 3-pointers in a game last week. He is the third Glover to play college athletics in 3 different sports. His sister Christina played volleyball for South Carolina. His brother Alex, football for the Citadel. And now congratulations to Andrew heading to USC Aiken.
Sports Director Scott Eisberg.
Time to wake up. No time to shave when it's time to race. Use your spidey sense and find the finish line. Fuel up with some fruit on the way. So are you peeling off now?
Yes, I am. I might even stretch with some splits.
If fruit is not your style. Dude, did you just run the bridge with a pack of donuts?
I found them back there on the ground.
You found it on the ground? That doesn't make it any better. Some spend the day running, others just trolling for chicks. Oh, hold on. Time out. We spotted you.
I'm the gingerbread man. I'm a ginger and I have bread on me. It says, "Come catch me on the back."
That is brilliant.
I know, I'm so smart.
The chicks are gonna dig that.
Yeah, they are.
I know Clemson quarterbacks always get the chicks, right?
You know
You know it, baby. Did you find your Valentine on the bridge?
Yes, I did.
He may not have, but this guy certainly did. And that's what you got.
Yes.
Greatest day of your life?
Greatest day of my life.
And just think, in just a few short months, they could be this couple. Heading to the altar or to the bar?
To the altar and to the bar. But the bar first.
Running is serious. Results do matter. To some.
Brianna, how does it make you feel to place 4,000? I think it was 14,000.
14,000.
1 or 40,000. The goal this year, safety. Added presence, not only scouring for terrorism, but pests of another dimension as well.
We are ready to believe you.
Where's Bill Murray? He should be around here, right?
No, we're waiting. We're waiting.
Couldn't find Bill, did find Will.
And there's no I in Will. Oh, there's one. But I got over it fastest time ever.
You lost half your shirt on the way, Will.
Yeah, well, nipple chafing. That's the next run for the cure.
Whatever your reason for running, getting to the end, key.
Feel the rhythm. Get on it.
Go grab yourself a drink, Charleston. You deserve it. Scott Eisberg, Sports 4.
Director Scott Eisberg.
Life after death. Good evening. I'm Scott Eisberg. Our athlete of the week is actually a former athlete now. The trials and triumphs of Gamecocks great Landon Powell are well documented. He blew out his knee 3 times. He has a genetic disorder that will require him to get a liver transplant. And worst of all, last year, he lost a 4-month-old daughter to a hereditary immune disease. Landon Powell, though, has pressed on. On a stage in the student cafeteria at Charleston Southern, recounting the toughest moments of his life, Landon Powell draws strength.
For me, on the other side of it now, after losing a daughter and going through a lot of that heartbreak with my family, you can realize why some things are done. And for me to have an opportunity to go and share that testimony, share that story, I got to feel like that's what God had intended for me.
Landon Powell's story isn't a cautionary tale. It's not a story of a celebrity living to excess only to climb back from his mistakes. This is a guy given so much talent on the field only to have much, much more taken from him off of it, all out of his own control.
I know that's part of the story I have, is to be able to tell people about my faith and how my faith was able to carry me through a really tough time.
But times are different now for Landon. He gave pro baseball another try after his daughter passed last year, catching on with the Mets organization. It was short-lived.
When I knew I was ready to retire is when I decided that I wasn't having any fun playing anymore. My body hurt too much. I wasn't having success. I just knew it was time to take the cleats off.
He lived the highest of highs on the field, making history, catching Dallas Braden's perfect game for the A's in 2010. In the Palmetto State, forever revered as a Gamecock legend.
I've accomplished a lot of great things in my life, and being a baseball player, having a lot of success, and making it to the major leagues and College World Series, and all the things I was able to do. But being a parent, being a dad is probably on the top of that list. There's nothing else that gives me more joy than being a father to my 2 kids.
Seeing Izzy every day in the eyes of her healthy twin Ellie. He shares baseball with his son Holden, wanting more with what he has rather than dwelling on what he's lost. Powell chose his new path. Stay-at-home dad in the mornings, volunteer assistant at Furman in the afternoons.
I've had a new beginning now in coaching, and it's been great. It's been exhilarating. A lot of kids to get to watch them improve, watch them learn from their failures, and reap the benefits of their hard work.
Positive about his purpose.
I've known baseball is always going to be a part of my life, whether as a player, coach, father, whatever it is. Baseball is going to be a big part of my life.
Knowing it's now coming full circle, back in the game he loves alongside the family he needs.
And that's what I'm going to try to use it to better, to better some other kids, to better other adults, and let them know that even though there might be some heartbreak, there might be some loss, you can get through those things, and there is a better day on the other side.
Landon Powell believes his path happened for a reason, now giving him lessons to teach and strength to press on. Powell is on medication for his own liver disease. He's very active raising money for organ donation here in the state of South Carolina. Powell's alma mater, South Carolina, holding their...
Scott Eisberg.
All right, let's take you back almost 2 years. You might remember our story on Somerville High assistant football coaches Joe Call and Preston Giant. Streak running, yes, streak running every single day, never missing a day, running together at least a mile, no maximum on miles. Families vacationing together, rain, sleet, ice, snow, all to keep the streak alive. Good evening, I'm Scott Eisberg, and no, we are not joining you tonight to announce that the streak has ended. In fact, quite the opposite. An update. You won't believe what these guys are up to now. They are, again, our athletes of the week.
2,671 straight days.
How many years is that?
That's 7 years and 3 months.
We always kind of joke around when people ask us, why do you do it? The answer is always because we can.
In a town that boasts John McKissick, you might imagine things don't change much, especially considering Joe Call is his grandson. But don't you dare think the Streak Boys getting complacent, especially when it comes to a bit of a dare. It started a few years back.
I kept going, you can do this stuff. Come on, you'll love it.
That's Comp McCurry, another Somerville High longtime assistant. No interest in streaking for him, but constantly itched by the workout bug, knowing his buddies only scratching the surface of what they could do.
And I think they got the confidence up. They went out and gave it a shot. They were hooked on it. They love it. And once you get hooked, you don't let go of it because it is an adventure.
You know, we had run road races, half marathons, done some sprint triathlons, stuff like that. But adventure racing is where it was at for us.
So if the adventure of running every day, day after day, 365 days a year, throw in 2 leap years, isn't enough, just imagine what these knuckleheads, athletes, did last weekend.
You start in the Atlantic Ocean and you make your way over 3 days to the Gulf of Mexico.
As you might imagine, no driving with the top down, following the GPS across Florida. In fact, GPS is illegal. Try pioneering, trekking through the woods with a compass and a map, your supplies on your back, running more than a marathon a day, canoeing at one point for 18 miles straight, biking across terrain you couldn't imagine.
I'd never experienced any kind of exhaustion like that. It's just one of those feelings. It's almost surreal that you can see things and your brain is telling you it's there, but you know that it's not there.
Getting less than 3 hours of sleep over a 72-hour period and still be able to function.
And when they finish, elation, celebration, and a realization what tomorrow brings.
It's what we do. You know, the streak, controls us. We don't, control the streak, and we just know the next day, hey, no matter what, we're going to have to get up and run. So, the hardest part is lacing your shoes up.
They ran 2 miles the day after that 72-hour race. Comp, Preston, and Joe all did this race, and the adventure races, they're on 4-man teams. Comp is on a separate team as Joe and Preston, but both teams are sponsored by Trident Pain Center, who they say is essential in not only getting them to the races, but keeping their bodies able to race. And oh yeah, the next adventure being tossed around right now, how about 7 marathons in 5 days across the Sahara Desert?